I'm Tim Greimel, the House Democratic leader, and I'm joined here by our Democratic floor leader, Singh, and Representative Marilyn Lane, who is our Minority Vice Chair on the Transportations Committee, as well as a number of other members of our caucus, as you can see. Today, House Democrats are announcing a plan that will raise nearly $1.2 billion to finally fix our state's roads and bridges. It's critical that we get something done on our roads. That much is obvious, and everybody knows it. It's equally critical that we get it done in a way that does not just keep going back to the same well, demanding working and middle-class families sacrifice again and again and again. Unlike Republican proposals, our proposal will require corporations and not just middle-class families and seniors to contribute to building a state that works for everyone. And significantly, our proposal does not get rid of the earned income tax credit that has been a lifeline to lifting middle and low-income people out of poverty. Instead, our plan demands that everyone pay their fair share, including the corporations who rely on roads and bridges to conduct business. Corporations have been the beneficiaries of $2 billion in annual tax breaks over the past several years, paid for by $1.6 billion in new and higher taxes on middle class and working families. It's the largest tax shift in Michigan history. Corporations pay less than they probably ever have, and Republicans have forced everyday families to pay increasingly more while corporations get tax break after tax break. That tax shift is just plain wrong. In fiscal year 2014, Michigan collected over 50 times more in the form of individual income taxes than it did from business income taxes. Let me be clear. It's wrong of Republicans to demand more sacrifice from families that have seen declining wages, benefit cuts, and large tax increases, while corporations have seen tax giveaway after tax giveaway leading to ever higher profits. Corporations use our roads and bridges as much or more than individuals and families, and they shouldn't be given a free ride when it comes to fixing our crumbling infrastructure. And now I'd like to introduce Democratic floor leader Singh, who will go over the details in the plan. Sam?
Thank you very much, Tim. Once again, I'm Sam Singh. I'm the state representative from East Lansing, and it's my privilege and honor to be the floor leader for this caucus. As Tim mentioned, one of the conversations we wanted to have was about tax fairness and how we made sure that everybody paid their fair share. And as we take a look at both the House and the Senate plans, there is such a reliance on general fund money. And what I found was ironic is that they just passed the budget a few weeks ago. Why didn't they took the $700 million that the senators claim that they can find in general fund and take it out then? Why didn't they do the same thing on the House side? There was an opportunity for them to show where those cuts are. So we know cuts will be coming if either one of those plans move forward, and we know who's going to pay the price. It's middle-class families. It's higher tuition in higher education institutions that rely on that general fund. It is revenue sharing that our communities have to do public safety that rely on the general fund. And as you take a look at those items moving forward, we know on top of any additional taxes that middle-class families will pay, those cuts that will happen within the general fund to pay for either one of those plans will come at the expense of those middle-class families and those senior citizens. And that's why we've proposed this plan. The plan, as Tim mentioned, is a $1.2 billion plan. We first wanted to take a look at how we would prioritize and protect our roads using existing funding. We'll walk you through that piece. Second is we wanted to make sure that we raised reforms as taking a look at different types of funding systems through our registration systems and make sure that those were fair and balanced and made sure we generated the right revenue off of those. And then at the end, we wanted to ask the business community, who has seen significant tax cuts over the last 4 years, to give a little bit of that back. a little bit of that back so we can actually have the investment in our infrastructure across the state. Because we all know that that infrastructure will benefit those businesses. They can then expand the economic drivers of their industries by actually making that level of investment. And so at this same time, what we can do is also protect the balance with our seniors, our middle-class families, and others who've been paying significantly over the last 4 years since the budget changes of 2011. So first, what we do is we take a look at the existing gas sales tax that goes to the general fund. We will take $100 million of that is dedicated to general fund resources and dedicate that to the roads plan specifically. We would also recoup $530 million of the $2 billion in tax cuts that companies received over the last 4 years by asking them to do a little bit more under the corporate income tax and raising that from 6% to 9%. We also then will challenge the governor to renegotiate with the mega tax credits using the model that they've used with Ford Motor Company and additional conversations that they're having, that they would take $200 million a year to make sure that those dollars and resources are dedicated towards the roads versus to those mega tax credits. And then as we take a look at re-regulating the electricity market, there is revenue that is generated from those companies. And as those monies go to the public utilities, we're asking those public utilities to then dedicate those dollars and resources to the roads as well. And that will generate $225 million a year. We'll be asking that the trucking industry pay their fair share as well, as we'll be introducing increases to truck registration fees and other loopholes that will generate $63 million a year. In total, this overall package will raise the $1.2 billion that many of us have said is at least a starting point in the conversation. And then what it does in the end, though, is it protects our families. It protects those middle-class families, those people that have been giving a lot of their dollars and resources to the state over the last 4 years, and it provides a balanced playing field so everyone is investing in the future of Michigan's economy. This money should be focused, so we're not taking money away from schools, from education, from revenue sharing in the plans that we see coming out of the Senate and the House Republican plans, and it protects those areas of the budget that took extreme cuts 4 years ago. So we find that this plan is a responsible plan. It generates real money now as we move forward, and I'm pleased to turn over the remainder of the formal presentation to Marilyn Lane, who has been our advocate and the vice chair of the Transportation Committee going forward. Representative Lane.
Well, thank you, Representative Singh, and hello this afternoon. My name is Marilyn Lane. I represent District 31. I am Vice Chair on the Transportation Committee. I'm also Vice Chair on our second new committee, so I'm not sure how many committees it takes for transportation to fix our roads, but I am Minority Vice Chair on both of them. What you've heard now as far as a plan goes, I think that's what you're going to realize that this is a genuine plan. This is a plan that I think is really workable. Unlike the other plans that have been out there this far, and I'm not going to continue to talk about the flaws. I think you, the media, I think the experts and the governor have done a fine job pointing out all the flaws to the plans we've heard thus far, so I'd like not to reiterate and talk about that any further. I think that will be put forward here, and in hopes of that we will have our colleagues really take the opportunity to analyze it and look for discussion so that we can get beyond this point and start working on coming to a comprehensive plan that has long-term solutions in order to fix our roads. I also believe that this is a plan now that evenly puts a fair share on everybody in Michigan, just not Michigan families that are involved in trying to fix the roads. I think this evenly disperses that fair share on everybody. I think the one question I often don't hear from the media, and I think it's a question important to ask, is in fact, why does the majority, typically whatever the party is, but whoever has the majority, and in this case, majority in the House, the majority in the Senate, has not come up with a plan to fix our roads? It's not historically traditional that the minority comes forward with a plan, but I think the fact that we're here and we provided a plan shows our commitment to wanting to be able to fix the roads. So I think that's an important question to start off your inquiries on why in fact you're sitting here in the minority and why we are providing you a plan. But that again shows our commitment to fixing the roads. And with that, we'd be interested in asking any questions that you have.
Yeah, and before we open it up to questions on the revenue side, I want to again emphasize that we believe that we need to do more to responsibly use the money we already have. And certainly Floor Leader Singh talked about some of the existing revenue that should be dedicated to roads, but it's equally important to emphasize, and I think you see this on your fact sheets, that we've got to lower truck weights in this state. Our truck weights are unacceptably high. We need to lower those to 80,000 pounds, which is the federal limit, so that we can do more to preserve our existing roads. We need to demand longer and better warranties from road contractors so that they fix the roads right the first time. And we also want to make sure that for the first 5 years of the coming years that we give more money to cities and less money to the Michigan Department of Transportation to fix roads. Currently, MDOT gets about 39% and cities get 22%. We believe that those should be switched for the next 5 years so that cities get 39% and MDOT 22%. Finally, as was discussed last term, we believe that Detroit, Lansing, and Grand Rapids should be given more optional flexibility if they choose to dedicate more of their transportation dollars to mass transit if that's what the elected officials in those communities want.